And now we continue our series on teaching in Alaska.
Channel 2's Corey Ellen Young and photojournalist Kuba Voles traveled to Pilot Point, where successful teaching means being creative.
Morning, Corey.
Morning, David and Sheila. Well, teaching in a village like Pilot Point is a very unique experience, and as you will, educators wear more than one hat to inspire every student to believe that they could do anything they put their mind to.
Kobe, put your book down, please.
Welcome to Pilot Point School, where there's no shortage of methods for a student to learn. A true schoolhouse approach, where 9 students in attendance range from kindergarten to 12th grade. Elementary teacher Matthew Grossman.
Yes, I forget about that. You guys are so much smarter than me.
And secondary teacher Troy Roberts have become a jack of all trades, combining group work and individualized learning.
You have to figure out ways to reach kindergarten students in the same room with a 6th grader and teach them math while the other's doing social studies.
There's almost never one thing going on at one time in any of the classes.
That's not to say it's without its challenges.
You're a bit of a circus act some days, and other days you feel like it went incredibly smooth and you reached everybody at their level a little bit, and that's what success looks like in this kind of a system.
As one of 12 Bristol Bay Region schools in the Lake and Peninsula School District, the Pilot Point School is tucked away on the Ugashik Bay shore. Teachers here have learned to be flexible with limited resources. The village averages around 68 residents.
The con is that I'm the only one, and I don't have any support staff.
Matthew says sometimes he's had to teach the same subject to multiple grade levels at the same time.
Good. The younger kids are getting what the older kids are hearing. The older kids, when I'm teaching to the younger kids, it kind of reinforces.
Standardized testing also poses problems for Pilot Point kids who don't have the same experiences as urban students.
Our students are different from kids in other communities because they're so rural and so remote. Even though they have TV and internet and movies and stuff, that still doesn't replace things like going for a car ride. You know, they don't know what it's like to put on a seatbelt, or to some of the stories will talk about, you know, Joe and Susie went downtown. I've had kids ask me, what's downtown?
While grading students in rural Alaska can be tough, so too is grading the teachers.
So when you think of 25% of my effort will make it onto a page that the state and the federal government will look at and determine how successful I was as a teacher, you know, what about the 75% of the other time that I spent? There's no reflection on that.
Troy reflects on opportunities he's had to educate each student, even when it comes unexpectedly.
That kid is like, let's do some math. And I'm like, yeah, let's do some math, you know, because this is an opportunity for us to grow, and that's a success.
Barney's like,
teachers credit a true village partnership.
she's pretty good at reading. She can read the story and then answer questions.
But despite the success, the school faces the threat of closure nearly every year.
With our current numbers, we're in danger of not opening school next year, and that's a frightening thing, you know, for the village to live here with kids and to have the possibility of your school not opening in the fall.
The state requires the school must have at least 10 students to receive state funding.
We're blessed to live in a community that takes care of themselves. They have high standards for their kids. They support us. They support the school.
Support comes in a variety of different contributions.
Sometimes you don't have a PE teacher. Sometimes you don't have a bus driver. So you fill the roles that must be filled. You make the best of every day, and you just let the Lord handle the rest.
Troy leans on his faith.
I wanted to be in a place where everything I do in my life would have an impact.
A couple of things to think about.
The classroom is an intimate place here in the sense that we build close relationship because of the time we spend together.
Spending as much as 10 hours a day with students, including during the school's basketball night.
I'm not the here's the lesson and get out the door. I have to examine how I'm living. What's it look like when I'm at lunch? How do I spend my time? There's no staff lounge. I can't go crack ridiculous jokes. I'm sitting next to the kid, and what life am I going to show that kid?
Life lessons beyond the books.
I try to teach them that we're in the midst of an activity that you're going to either choose to be a person of character who does with honesty and integrity or not.
And it's a teaching style these educators enjoy.
I'm very happy doing what I'm doing now, and I love my kids and my students.
I can send a kid into the world, and they can divide fractions, and that's great. But if I can send a kid into the world, and they can meet a challenge, and they can control their emotions, and they can come back to it the next day and say, let's get it done.
Well, photojournalist Kuba Voles shot this story very good in Pilot Point. And as you can see, teachers Matthew Grossman and Troy Roberts are reaching kids. Matthew and Troy were previously middle school teachers in Illinois and Minnesota. And after being in Pilot Point for 5 years and 3 years, along with their families, they say right now they wouldn't want to teach anywhere else.
So, Corey, I have to ask you, how hard is it for these guys to teach, I mean, being so isolated away from other towns?
Well, Troy and Matthew say it is difficult because every kid does learn on their own levels, but they say they get support from the school district, the community, and also their families, their wives are also there.
Sure.
So that's where they get a lot of that support.
Now, when you're together that much, Corey, I mean, it's day after day, 10 hours a day, for year after year after year. How would you describe the relationships that they're building?
It's very unique because schools in a lot of villages are the hubs. That's where everybody comes. You saw the community dinner they had there. Kids never really leave. They had a basketball night, which I actually got to be part of, which is kind of cool. The teachers' houses are actually right next to the school. And there you go there. And so the wives, families, Matthew, I know he coaches volleyball. He has family night or dinners for kids that do good things. And Troy also coaches basketball. Waylon, who's helping them out with a basketball tournament they're going to go to. So they're always together, unique relationship. That's just how the town is, that's how the community is, and that's how they're having success.
Boy, it would take amazing individuals to teach in that capacity. That's
Definitely.
amazing.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.